What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build a video, and I did not want to do this video this early because I'm still studying all of the screenshots, but because there's so many people like freaking out and having a hard time this week because of the changes that the game made, which I'm not 100% sure exactly what those changes are 100% just yet, which is why I did not want to do this video right now. But like I said, because everybody's freaking out, I want to explain what's going on and how you can kind of sift through and fix what is going on with your contest of mayors assignments. So as many of you know, I put out a contest of mayors guide that I wrote myself. Everything is all posted to our Facebook page. That method of choosing your tasks is still it still works to the best of my knowledge. Now, what we had seen previous to this was we never had more than 2 3K tasks at any one time. Now, we would get some tapestry tasks for some higher point values, like 3,300 and something, or 4,300. Now, this week, many of you, in fact, I think everybody, experienced a huge overload of 3K tasks. Now, whether or not it was an intentional fuck up from EA or not, I don't know. I don't think it was just somebody screwed up. I hope it is, because then that means all my work is not thrown in the trash. But if it's not, then I have to kind of change a little bit of the guide and how you do things. Now, as many of you know, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration when making your selection. If you go to our Facebook page, type in SimCity Build It, MissyAnne, and you will see the group. It says Neverland, and it's got like the Peter Pan flying stuff, and it says MissyAnneTTVYT. Join our group. On the top of that page, click Announcements. Scroll down, and you will see several things. You'll see the Missy's Building Guide, you'll see the CoM guide, you'll see all that stuff. Click on that and read through the Contest of Mayors guide. There's nothing like my guide out. There's all kinds of charts and data that you can get from other Facebook groups and websites and Reddit and all these other things. And I'm going to talk about some of that stuff in a different video, but I'm going to tell you right now that there's a huge difference between giving you the answer and giving you the data. Okay? A lot of the charts that are out there, they give you the same information that you yourself can get from your own game, right? So that really doesn't do any good now, does it? If it's some information that you can gather on your own, then that really doesn't help you figure out what it is you need to do. So as many of you know, you opened your game, you probably saw an overload of 3K tasks. You're like, oh my God, this is awesome. What the hell happened? And you probably went straight to the internet, Facebook groups, probably posted it or looked at other people's posts. Then you probably went on a frenzy and you probably did 3K task after 3K task after 3K task, which is pretty much what everybody did. Now, this is what your task list would have looked like. As many of you know, I have broken the task list up into premium and non-premium tasks. Premiums are tasks that have the ability to be worth 3,000 points. Non-premiums are tasks that do not get a 3K value, or they are something that doesn't even go above 2K, right? So there's something below 3,000 points. Now, if you have a production task that's like 2,800 points, technically it's not a premium, but it's so damn close anyway. You know what I'm saying? But it's technically, no, it's not a premium. Now, here's the thing. What essentially you're trying to do is, especially as a below level 29 player, you're looking at your task list and you're saying, okay, out of all these things that I need to take into consideration, I want to put, essentially what you're attempting to do is you're attempting to increase your odds. So if you were to take a piece of paper and cut it into a bunch of pieces, and you were to take it and you were to write down all the possible tasks that you can have, right? Just the types, like production, house upgrades, VU repair, whatever, especially below level 29, because really you shouldn't even be playing CoM competitively above level 29. It's just a nightmare. It's going to cost you a fortune. It's going to be a bitch once you get those regional maps unlocked. The currencies, the Omega tasks, those will just destroy you. But if you're below level 29, you have a really decent time playing the Contest of Mayors competitively. I didn't say that higher level players shouldn't play CoM. I said competitively. Now, I play CoM for the purpose of the pass. I do not play CoM competitively anymore because of that reason alone. Now, if you are playing CoM competitively, you need to maximize your odds in getting higher premiums. So what this means is if you know that by looking at your list here, that you can only have so many 3K tasks at any one time, then essentially, if you know that looking at your, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to all of you guys, and I already knew this before it even happened. What was going to happen is, because you started with so many 3K tasks, you're going to run probably a 3K average for the first probably 5 or 6 tasks. Then the game always levels you out, always, okay? You are going to experience what I call the downtime. During your downtime, this is when you need to rotate your tasks around. Now, this stuff, it can get really confusing and really difficult, okay? Knowing which tasks to choose in general is very difficult. But essentially what you're doing is you want to have your non-premiums taken up, because they're gonna pop up in your list no matter what. Whether you like it or not, they're gonna pop up. Okay, some of them are going to pop up more than others. Some of them can pop up in duplicates. Some of them cannot. All of this information is in my guide. Okay, beach tasks. Those ones pop up repeatedly, one after another after another. If you cancel it, it's just going to come right back. If you do it, it's just going to come right back. You should only be doing that task in Mega because it's a waste to do it in any other league because you're very limited and it's 2,500 points guaranteed and it's guaranteed to repeat itself. So it's an excellent way to increase your average in the Mega League. So now you know that if you get a beach task in a lower league, that you're not going to touch it. And because if you touch it, it's going to keep coming back, right? So what do you do when you have a bunch of, now listen to me very carefully. This is what's going to happen. You're going to do these 3K tasks, okay? Then your list is going to start to look like this. And you're going to start to see a bunch of high non-premiums. So they're not quite 3,000 points, but they're of a higher points value than you like. This is when you're going to be in your downtime. Listen to me very carefully. If you were to choose to do a 2,000 point repair, what's going to happen? You're going to get another repair, like almost instantly. So you have point values that are higher than that right now. Why would you do a 2,000 repair? You wouldn't, right? Okay, so which task would you do, saying that these were your only options here, and the monster was not available for 10 hours? What would your next task be? Well, you know you're going to be in a downtime. So how do you know you're in a downtime? What this means is, let's say that you do a task of a high points value and you get a very low point task in its place. So here's what's going to happen. See this here? He's got 47 assignments left, right? But he's got 31,000. That tells me he was definitely in Mega. He's definitely in Mega, whoever this is. I can't remember. I think it's CPTs. So he's got 2 production tasks of low points value. He's got a key task that's just going to keep coming back if he touches it, but it's taken up of a 2,000 point task. Then he's got a 2,500 monster, and he knows that, well, shit, my monster isn't here for another 10 hours. So he's got a 2,400 residential upgrade. Then he's got a 2,400 epic, 2,400 launch war attack. Look at all these high level pointers, right? So essentially what he needs to do is he needs to clear some of these higher point values out, because what's going to happen is these are going to sit there of a high points value, and every task that he does while those sit there, it's going to continue to give him lower tasks, but the game is always going to level you out. So during these downtimes, what do? When you start to do a high premium and you get a very, very, very low premium or a very low task in general, Like, let's say you do a 2000, let's say you do like a 2400 or higher task and you get like a 780 point task back in its place value. That's when you know that you need to stop, look at your average, look at how many tasks you've completed, do the math, and see what your overall average is. If you're sitting around 3000 points average, odds are you're in a downtime. A downtime typically lasts between about 6 and 8 tasks. Well, probably about 5 and 8 tasks. Now, what happens during this time is the game starts to give you lower points values. So what do? Do you continue doing your highest premium? No. No. Okay. What you would do, depending on what your highest premium would be at that point. So let's say that, let's skip ahead here. So here we go. Here we have, I believe this is Sandrine's, I think. Yeah. So here she has a 1200 point epic project. Okay. Now, okay. So she has a 1200 point epic. She had just recently gotten this. I can't remember what task she did before it, but it was like a production or something. And when I saw her get that 1200 point epic, I was like, nice, awesome. Why would I think that's awesome? Well, because I know she's in downtime. And what I know is that, and this is kind of a tongue twister, so pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. During your downtime, which is typically, like I said, 5 to 8 tasks, you want to exchange high non-premium tasks for low point non-premiums so that when you are not in your downtime, you get higher premiums. So I'm going to repeat that because that's, like I said, it's kind of a tongue twister. What we had seen here is a bunch of higher point non-premium tasks. See the 2400 point epic, the 2400 point launch, the 2000 point repair. If you have a list like this, you are not going to get high point premiums. You cannot afford to do these tasks repeatedly because they will eventually lower your average because eventually they're going to pop up with a lower points value. So you need to rotate these out. You cannot rotate these out when you're in a, why would you rotate them out when you're getting 3000 point tasks? You wouldn't. You want to wait until the game starts giving you garbage. Okay. Now, so as you can see, you can't read this. So she did her 2400 point epic, right? And then she got a 1200 point epic in its place eventually, not right away. This was like, okay, let's go back and look. She had 60 tasks, and that's when her 2400 point epic was there. So she had done 3000 point tasks. Then she did that iron task. That's what we know of for sure, right? So at some point between 60 tasks left, because some of these are CPTs, but back here, so between 60 tasks and 47 tasks, she managed to get a 1200 point epic. I thought that was awesome because I'm like, well, that's great. So that means that now, because you know you can't have 2 epic tasks pop up of worth 2400 points, that means that now that's taken up. It's going to take up a spot in your list no matter what, right? Do you want it to take up a higher points value or do you want it to take up a lower points value? Essentially, what you'll always hear people say is work your highest task. Well, guess what? You got to play a little smarter than that. If it was that simple, everybody would do it and everybody would just win and it would just be that easy. How do you work your highest task when you're getting garbage and all of your premiums are of a lower points value? How many times have you sat there during the contest of mayors, worked your highest task, and wonder why you never got a launch VU? I bet you $1 million that if you were to go back and have screenshots of that and look through that whole contest of mayors, you would realize that you had a launch VU in your list. It just wasn't of a high points value. It was being taken up of a 1000 point value. And because you let it sit and you only did your highest task, you really fucked yourself. So what you'll hear people say is to work your top 3 tasks. Now, what this means is eventually, once you get your list set up, and what's really good is when you start the contest of mayors and you don't have a bunch of 3000 point tasks. What's good is when you have an 800 epic, a 1000 monster, a 1200 or 1500 earn simoleons task, a 800 residential. That is excellent. That means that if you, then you have like a 3K launch VU, right? A 1400 or 1600 VU repair. Now you know that you can X off the monster. That one's not going to be an issue for you at all the whole time because you're not going to touch it. You can X off the epic project because now you don't have to worry about that one. And you don't have to worry about the VU repair either, right? So now you can focus on maximizing your premiums, your launch VUs, your airports, your flights, your upgrades if you're doing your production tasks, your factory production. If you have regionals unlocked, your currencies, your Omega upgrades, all these things that you couldn't do before, depending on what level you are. So essentially, again, I'm going to repeat the tongue twister again. So you've played the game. You've noticed you're getting garbage. You're looking at your tasks remaining. You've seen and you did your average, and you're noticing that you are sitting between 2,800 to over a 3,000 average. You know you're in a downtime, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to analyze your list. You're going to go look at my CoM guide. You're going to read through what I have written down for each assignment and what you know about each assignment. There's several things to look at when selecting tasks. The competition in your league, the players that you're going against, what league you're in, how much time do you have left in the contest, how much time do you have remaining until the monster gets there. Like I said, what league are you in? How many points do you have? All of these things that you need to look at. There's so many things that you need to look at before making your selection. Is it premium? Is it non-premium? Is it a high points value? Does it have the ability to be duplicated? If you cancel an upgrade task and you have no other upgrade tasks in your list and you know you can have 5 upgrade tasks at a time, why are you canceling it? It's just going to come right back around. And then when it does, it's just going to screw you up again. Now, if it's a 3K upgrade, that would be a little bit different because you know you can only have so many 3K tasks at any one time. And if that one's being taken up, then that would be problematic. Now, with this new bullshit going on with the game, the question remaining is, can you have more than 2 3K tasks after the initial bullshit that they gave us before? Well, nobody's gotten past about the first 20 assignments in my group, and I've been super busy, so I don't know yet. And that is why I did not want to do this video until this week was over, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to compile up screenshots of everybody's tasks from start to end, right? And I wanted to analyze all the patterns that you guys are going to be going through. And so far, I have 5 people that have all experienced the same exact pattern. They started with high tasks, right at almost the exact same time. They went into their downtime. They got through their they're almost through their downtime, okay? And they're going back up into their high time. Now that they're going into their high time, they can say, okay, my lower non-premiums, the non-premiums that she had sitting here, right? That were taking up placements of 2,000, 2,400, 2,500, 3,000. She rotated and she didn't have to drop her average too much because she did tasks. She did the 2,000 point gold keys task. It kept her 2K average. Because she did the 2,400 epic, it still kept her above her 2K average. Now, when she got the 1,200 point epic, like in this photo, now we know she's not going to touch that for the rest of the game, right? So, boom, we don't have to worry about it ever again. Okay. Now she's got 1, 2, 3 production just in the top half of her list. She has another production. So now we know that she has several production tasks. She has a shipments task, which we know can't go above 1,800 points. And then she has the 1,800 chems, the 2,000 keys, and the 2,000 VU repair. Now, when she does the keys or the VU repair, the idea here is to get keys or VU repair of a lower points value. Which one should she choose out of each of these? Well, I'm going to tell you. she has a higher probability. We know that gold keys can only be worth 2,000 points, okay, or lower. They don't go above that. So VU repair can. It can go up to like 2,400 points. So which one would you pick? Would you, well, it depends. Would you pick the VU repair because it has the probability of being worth more? Or would you pick the keys because you know it can only be worth 2, but it can be worth less? So, well, let's keep flipping through. Now, for whatever, okay, so here she is. This is, let's see, 118. Okay, so that's Belle. She's in Metro. So here's Belle's, okay? Belle is a level 18 player. Now, she got this launch. Now, like I said before, she's in Metro, right? So this does not look like her list. Hang on just a second, you guys. Yeah, because she's in Metro, and that's 50 tasks. That can't be her list. Hold on. Okay, so the reason I asked to see her rank here, and this is what I wanted to show you guys, and I've talked about this before in another video, but since she's in Metro, we know that she wants to get at least promoted into Mega. Realistically, yes, you want to win the contest of mayors, right? That would be the whole point. It would help her out to win the cash prize for Metro. It's still a decent prize. You know, still, you know, $200 or whatever. So far, the competition below her doesn't look very much. Now, a lot of people see lower points values and they go, oh, that's great. That means that the competition sucks. Well, yes and no. If it's the very beginning of the contest, that's a bad sign, because typically what that means is everybody else is picking the right assignments. They're not just rushing to the top of the leaderboard making bad choices. But what you want to look for is you want to click on their profile and you're going to open up the CoM portion of their profile. And you're going to look at their contest rank. This will tell you how long they've been playing the contest of mayors. This person is only rank 11. This tells me that this person, because they've participated in 3 seasons and they're only at a rank 11, this tells me that they really don't do much of anything. So they're of no threat to you, okay? This person here has participated in 2 seasons and is only a rank 9. Again, only has 13,000 points, and we're into the second day of CoM. They didn't buy the premium pass. How do I know that? How do I know they didn't buy the premium pass? Well, if you watched my video on the Halloween parks, see the 10 there where it says season 10? It has it's silver, right? This one's silver. That means that they did not buy the premium pass. If they bought the premium pass, it would be gold. Check your game. If you have the non-premium pass, it'll be silver, and if you have the gold pass, it'll be gold. Okay? Now this person, they're a rank 13. They've participated in 3 seasons. They only have 12,000 points. They're really clearly of no threat. Their current tier of the pass is 4. Their current tier of the pass is 4, and theirs is 3. And they've all hit roughly the same amount of points, right? So this person here, same general concept, only tier 8, didn't purchase the premium. So the 4 people below her are clearly of no threat to her. Now, that's what you want to look at when you're looking at your game. If you're in Metro and you don't really want to spend the cash because you want to save it for when you get to Mega, the question is, how bad is the competition for you? Looking at everything. Look at their war rank. Look at if they're hacked, if they have an obscene amount of points. Many of you, I've seen posting on like the Facebook groups or whatever. I see you guys talking about like, oh my God, this person has 50,000 points and it's the first day. Yeah, that's not that impressive. It's really not, especially when you don't know what you're doing and you're rushing. Or if you have gold tokens unlocked and you're paying to bring those flights back, that's very easy to do, especially as a high level player. Even when you know what you're doing, is what I'm saying. So it depends on the level. It depends on what you have unlocked. It depends on a lot of things. I know people, and I used to be able to put up 100,000 points in a day. If you rush through everything depending on the amount of cash you want to spend. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So the question is how big are their points jumps? That's what you want to watch for. So if you suspect someone's hacking in your league, the very first thing is what's possible. If it's the first hour of the contest and they have 100,000 points, that is not realistic, okay? Now, let's say that you're watching their points and you watch their points jump and you watched them jump 10,000. Is there a 10,000 point task? No, there's not. Nobody's going to jump 10,000 instantly. Now, if they jumped 6,000 within a few minutes, that is possible, because let's say that they had worked on several tasks and had them all ready for pickup. A lot of people will do that. But the biggest mistake that many of you make, and a lot of people in my group, my CoM training, were making this mistake early on as well, is there's two crucial mistakes. And that is, first off, people, they jump up on the game and they are in such a hurry because they're like, okay, cool, CoM started, woohoo, and then they get like a 3,000 point production task or something really high production. And they don't want to do it because it would mean that they wouldn't be able to do anything, really not much of anything, for the next 10 hours. And so they're like, I would rather work on all of these lower point tasks and I'll do that one at night. You cannot do that. It will destroy your average. Now, you also can't afford to lollygag around all day either. But what you can do is, let's say that you had, because there was a situation here where, let's see, Sandrine started with it was like a feed task or something, and she didn't want to wait for it, but she ended up waiting for it as advised, and I can't find it now, but okay, similar situation like right now. So in this situation, the choice technically would be the 1800 chems, because that's the production. It's the highest production. You're not going to do the keys because even though you're going to get 200 points more, this premium chems is going to open up the possibility of much more than that 200 points is going to give you. Now, if she didn't want to wait for those chems, then she would be working on other things in the process. Now, what you want to do is you want to work on those things, but you don't want to collect on them yet. So let's say that she started the chems, but she didn't start the task just yet. She waited for the first round of chems to be done. Don't do other tasks in the meantime if they're lower than that, if they're not worth it, if they're not premiums. It will destroy your average. Now, in this situation, she had metal. So obviously she would do metal first, then the chems, right? Because metal's much quicker, depending on what she got in return. Now, if she's in a downtime, she would not do this metal task just yet. She would want to do the epic because it's 600 points higher, and she knows that the game is giving her lower points tasks. So why would she want to burn through her high premiums to get low premiums or lower tasks? She wants to rotate these ones out during this time, because if she waits and is forced to rotate these out later, when the game is giving her good tasks after her average has already dropped, then it's going to destroy her score. So, I mean, I hope that this is helping you guys to understand. This stuff is not easy to understand, okay? It's really not. It does take practice. A lot of the people in my group are catching on. They're getting it. But when they came and they fucked this whole week up with all this new stuff, it really confused a lot of people. Now, these downtimes happened before this. I've had them happen many times, and I have what's super frustrating is during these times, people bitch and gripe and moan. It drives me crazy because okay, here's what they'll do. They'll be frustrated, and they'll be sending in screenshots going, what do I do? And then you tell them what to do. And then they do it, and then they send another screenshot, and then it usually comes in with a message like, I'm getting garbage and this shit task and fuck this and rah, 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 and they're bitching and griping and pissing and moaning, and it's like, will you shut the fuck up Like, goddamn, like really. Like, you're in a downtime, it's going to happen. What is your average? Every single time, without fail, they do their average and they're sitting over 2,000, over a 2K average. And they slowly watch their average drop and they start to gripe and bitch and piss and moan, right? Well, the game is going to do that. It's not going to, you're not going to end with a 3K average every week. It's not going to happen. That would mean that you did all 3K tasks. So the game typically, what you want to aim for is 2K average. But anything higher than a 2K average is great, right? So yeah, you always want to aim for more than the 2K average anytime you can. But as long as you don't fall below the 2K average, you're doing really good, okay? Now, what happens is during these downtimes, they don't last very long, but because people are frustrated, it seems like it lasts longer than it really has. So when you go back and you look at their tasks and when this downtime started, okay, because me and CPT analyzed his, he had done 12 total tasks, and the first like 8 tasks or so were fine. So it was only 4 tasks that were really bad, but it seemed like so much more because he was frustrated, right? Which everybody gets frustrated. And it's super frustrating when you feel like you're picking the right task and you keep getting garbage in return and you're like, oh my God, this is just going to kill me. And people think that it's going to destroy their whole week. What they don't realize is now is the perfect time to do rotation. Okay? Rotate, and I'm going to say it again because I know you guys have forgotten. You might want to write this down. Okay? Grab a pen, grab paper, pause your video, do what you got to do. Grab it and write this shit down. Okay? You're going to rotate. So write down. Rotate out not high value non-premiums for lower value non-premiums so that you get higher value premiums, not non-premiums, premiums during your high times. I know, I make it sound like a fun time, huh? Sucks to be you. No more getting high for you. Okay. Now, that is what you're going to do. So, would you rather, at the end of your shit show, would you rather have a task list that says Monster 2,500, Gold Keys 2,000, VU Repair 2,400? Or would you rather have a task list that says Monster 1,000, Gold Keys 1,400, VU Repair 1,400? That's what I would rather have because those are non-premiums. They're going to be in your task list. And you know that the more that those stupid ass tasks, 2K to 2,500 or whatever, if essentially what you're looking at is normally you have about 200, 800 pointers, right? Or 200. Normally you have 2 800-point tasks, or at least one. Then normally you have like 2 to 3, one, like 1,000s, 1,200, 1,500, something like that. Then you usually get a majority of somewhere between 1,800 and 2,400. And then you have 1 or 2 3K tasks. That's usually the gist of what your task list looks like. Now, there's times when your task list is like 1,800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,600. That is your downtime. And that is when you rotate your higher values, non-premiums. Now, if you already have a lot of low-level non-premiums, like they're low points value non-premiums, and you have a really good average, just keep doing the highest premiums you have, okay? But make sure that you have no non-premium sitting at about 2,000 points, okay? So if you have a monster at 2,000, do not touch that stupid thing. The odds of getting it below 2,000, I wouldn't even take the risk. But if it's 2,500, wait for the stupid thing. If you know you only have like 2 days of the contest left, depending on your situation, you might have to cancel it, but more than likely not. More than likely, you would just leave it be. Because as long as you have the possibility to get higher premiums, you're going to be okay. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do. For those of you who still are confused, because I expect that a lot of you still are, and it's going to take practice, like I said, what I'm going to do and what I want you to do is I want you to take as many screenshots as you can of your task list and your choices. I want you to go onto our Facebook group, join our group, click the announcements section, and look for the Contest of Mayors strategy guide that I wrote up. I want you to study it. I want you to do the best that you can with what you have. And then at the end of this week, when it ends, not when you're done with your tasks, but when the Contest of Mayors is actually over and you actually get your placement, I want everybody to send me in their screenshots. And that way I can study the patterns. Even if you didn't take screenshots of everything, I mean, I would prefer that you did, but if you didn't, it's okay. Send me as many screenshots as you can. I'm going to collect all the screenshots from everybody I talk to, which is a lot of you. And I'm going to sit down. There's 1 day off between the contests. And I'm going to sit down. I'm going to study it. Okay. And I'm going to see if there's something that's changed. And I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to fix the guide the best that I can to fit the current situation, saying this isn't just a fluke, saying that this is the new way of things. Okay. And then I'm going to have the updated version of the guide out hopefully that week, okay, before the next round of the Contest of Mayors starts. That's what I'm going to aim for. But for the time being, the old way is the best way as far as I'm concerned. So do what you can, the best that you can. And if you need to watch my videos, watch my videos. But really, the guide that I typed up, you guys, is so unbelievably helpful. It's going to give you guys so much more information than a lot of the beginning videos that I had put out. I just recently made this guide because I was realizing a lot of people were having difficulties understanding what I was doing to get my answer. And I had realized, well, wait a minute here. I'm not just focusing on the points value. If you focus solely on the points value of your tasks, you're going to fail miserably, okay? There are so many things to consider when making your selection, like I said, and all of this is in the guide, and it is really super helpful. And trust me, everybody that actually follows the guide and learns the guide wins every single week, as long as you're below level 29. You can do that. Now, if you're above level 29, you're going to spend a lot of cash trying to win. I'm just going to be honest. Those regional currency tasks are a bitch, and those Omega canisters will destroy your money, and it's just a nightmare. But if you're below level 29, you can still win the Contest of Mayors with it. Once you get it, once you understand the method, it'll come easy to you. Okay, eventually it'll come easy, and you'll never want to leave level 29. You'll be like, fuck this, I win 250 plat keys every single week. Why would you want to leave, right? Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here, and then this is the last video that I'm gonna do for today. Like I said, I did not want to put this video out just yet, but whatever. I know a lot of you are frustrated because you're in a downtime. Utilize your downtimes. Have them work with you, not against you. And like I said, if any of you need help, I mean, I am really busy. I will do the best I can to get back to you as soon as I can. So all you got to do is message me on Facebook, MissyAnne, Marysville, Washington. You'll see the black and white photo, same as the photo here. So, I mean, that's all you got to do. I'm actually going to pull up our Facebook group and show you guys exactly where it's located. This is us, SimCity Build It, MissyAnneTTVYT. You just click this announcement section here. This here is the introduction on our group, when we start war, and, you know, our group code, things like that. This here is the final CoM guide. This is what you want to do. This is the one you want to find. You're going to click on this, and this is the viewers. It's a Google Doc, and it's set to viewers, so you can print it or do whatever you got to do. And then this is the production guide. This is the updated version of the production plan, okay? Oh shit, I just realized I'm on YouTube. I gotta rotate this so you guys can see it. My bad, I apologize. Okay, so I'll scroll up so you guys can see this a little bit better. This here is the CoM guide. This here is the production. Now, we added names to the columns on the left-hand side, and there will be a updated video on the production guide because I noticed that a lot of people don't understand it, and I wanted to show people that you can actually use it for the contest of mayors. You can use the production guide in many different ways, not just to maximize coins profit. You can use it towards understanding and planning contest of mayors tasks, obviously making money, epic projects, all kinds of things. And I'll show you guys how to do that in tomorrow's video, okay? And then, like I said, the CoM video won't be out till next week. This here is our club code. And then I also post videos as they go up. They get posted to the Facebook group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the channel. And anytime that you guys get the opportunity to advertise my videos, or if somebody, you know, asks a question on another group or whatever, go ahead and give them my link, and that way we can get the channel growing. Anyways, I'm going to get off here, you guys, so I can get some sleep so I can do better videos for you guys tomorrow.